Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for being here today. Yes, I have a popsicle stick joke, and it is, how do trees go on the internet? Come on, guys. I said something like they branch out, which was so wrong. But it is, they log in. Isn't that just the way, right? I actually did laugh out loud to that one, and I don't know where I threw it. I heard it fall, and I don't know where it is, so that'll be a mystery at some other point in my life. Anyway, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks again so much for being here today. So today's video is a very exciting one, because I'm combining two of my favorite things, which is reading recommendations and talking about books with Ariana Grande's new album. What? How are you gonna do this, Noelle? That's impossible. Fear not, my friends. I have just the video idea in mind. And actually, I didn't think of this. A subscriber DM'd me on Instagram and gave me this idea. So thank you to the subscriber that DM'd me with this idea, because it is truly something special. Basically, what I'm gonna do is for every song off of Ariana Grande's new album, Positions, I am going to give you a book that kind of represents the song. Does that make sense? So like this first one is Shut Up. And I'll say, oh, the first song is Shut Up. And I think it's about this. And the book that I decided to pair it with is this. And then we'll have a fun time and a nice little chat. And so I did that for all of the songs on this album. Some of them are excellent picks. Other ones were like, okay, it's another love song, and I don't know like what to choose for this one. So the first song on the album is called Shut Up, and my interpretation, as well as what Ariana Grande said on an interview with Zach saying, she says that Shut Up is about literally shutting up, like not worrying about what everyone else is doing, minding your own business, not talking about other people just to make yourself feel better, just shutting up and focusing on yourself. And for this one, I chose a classic romance, and that is Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. Look at this edition. It was a gift, so I don't know where it's from. I think maybe Barnes & Noble, I don't know. But isn't it just lovely? These are all of her novels. This isn't just Pride and Prejudice. Oh my God, could you imagine? Anyway, so I chose Pride and Prejudice because Austen is known for her gossip culture in her novels. But specifically in Pride and Prejudice, Lizzie Bennet, our main lady, her mom will not shut the fuck up. And it's funny and it's hilarious and we love to read it, but as a daughter, dear God, I can't even imagine. Basically, Lizzie Bennet's mom, I'm just gonna call her Mrs. Bennet. I think we get the gist. Mrs. Bennet is just in everyone's business. She wants to play matchmaker. She wants the dirt on everyone. She's a gossip queen. She is an instigator, and she is a mastermind. And so I kind of thought, hey, if there's any, if there's any song about gossip or any song about shutting up and like minding your own business, I think Pride and Prejudice or just any Austen novel that has gossip in it is a good choice. But specifically, Mrs. Bennet, she has quite the mouth on her, and it's just really fun. So I chose Pride and Prejudice for Shut Up. Next song on the album is 34 plus 35, which... math. How many of us? I mean, when I first saw this, I was like, 34 plus 35, but she's 27, so like, what is she talking about? Eventually it dawned on me what that meant. But so when I first figured it out, I was like, oh, it's just gonna be a bunch of really cheesy math sexual puns, and Drake already did that. You know what I'm saying? The square root of 69 is 8 something. And I thought, you know what? It's gonna be like that, but not as good. Even though I love Ariana Grande, okay, come on now. I just thought it's gonna be cheesy, and it's like, whatever, she's gonna sound good, but it's just gonna be lame. Wow, was I wrong? Oh my God. When I first heard the song, I was like, huh? She did what now? Oh my God. And so for 34 plus 35, we needed something steamy, but we also needed something with a number in the title, because this is the song 34 plus 35 equals, yes, 69. How about 99% mine? Right? Do you see what I'm doing here? Exactly. We've got the 69, we've got the 99, and we've also got the steaminess. So 34 plus 35, I'm sure you can guess, the song is a steamy bitch. And so is this book, especially the main character whose name is Darcy. Darcy is our main lady, and she, basically, her grandmother dies in this book, and she needs to renovate her house, so she hires her childhood friend and slash, like, next door neighbor, and who she's always had a crush on, and she hires him to help renovate her grandmother's house that she needs to sell. But here's the twist. Since she's had this crush on her neighbor friend her entire life, she is super, super flirty when she sees him. When they're together, even though he is supposedly engaged to someone else and like she is aware of that, she cannot help but make super sexual comments to him and super bold statements about what she's trying to do to him. And so I thought this was a perfect pick, right? Because we have, I mean, the numbers, again, I'm not going to get over it, but also because we have a female character who is so strong in her sexuality and is not afraid to show it. And I thought that was a good choice for 34 plus 35. So there you have it. All right, the next song is Motive featuring Doja Cat, which, bitch, oh my God, it's so good. And it's all about checking the motive of someone who is newly pursuing you, right? So like with Ariana Grande and Doja Cat, why is this person pursuing them? Is it because they're really genuinely interested, or is it because they're wealthy or they're successful or they're talented or they can open doors for them, right? So the whole song is just about like, what is your motive with me? What do you want out of me? Like, you're pursuing me, but is it for the right reasons? And for that, it's not a romance, but I decided to choose Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reid because, well, it's an excellent book, number one. But number two, it's all about performatism, but in an interesting way. It's in two ways. One of them is romantic. The other is an employee type of thing. But basically, Such a Fun Age is about this woman named Amira. She's a 25-year-old black woman who's working for a white family as one of the babysitters. So one day, Amira takes one of the girls that she babysits every day, takes them to a grocery store, and then a white woman calls security on Amira because she believes that Amira kidnapped the white child. And so from there, which is a super embarrassing and mortifying, horrible moment, the mother of the family, so the employer of Amira, starts getting weirdly obsessed and interested in Amira's life. She keeps looking to Amira for approval, and she keeps trying to check her texts, and she keeps trying to like find out what Amira's doing in her personal life. And it's obviously for the wrong reasons. She's not like genuinely interested in Amira. She seems to be using Amira as kind of like this chasm of, I don't even know how to say it. Like, she's using Amira for her own self-satisfaction and her own approval, which is obviously not the right motive. She starts trying to find out about her love life, which is the second motive in this book, which is Amira's new boyfriend. I don't remember his name at this point, but her new boyfriend is a white man who has a track record of really only dating black women. And so Amira and her friends have to wonder, what is his motive with her? Is he genuinely interested in her, like who Amira is? Or is he just attracted to what she looks like? And so in this book, there are two distinct characters who have the wrong motives with our main character, Amira. And so even though this isn't a romance, I thought it was perfect for this song because of the motives and the wrong motives and trying to figure out why someone is so invested in our main character, Amira. So, yes. All right, the next song on this album is called Just Like Magic, which is a whole song about putting out the energy you want from the world. Does that make sense? So when you put out positive energy, you will get positivity back. When you say something is going to happen in your life, it'll happen in your life. When you put your mind to something, it will come true. And it's all just about like exactly what I just said. So for this song, there's a specific line that says, "I'm attractive. I get everything I want because I attract it," which, Ooh, fun line, first and foremost. But second of all, gives me a great segue to my pick for this song, which is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This is a romance, but also just a literary fiction. I don't know what you'd call it, but we read this for my book club in September, and it was such a good read. But why I chose this book for this song is because Evelyn Hugo is an actress, and at a very young age, she recognizes her beauty, and she decides that she is going to be an actress. And it was that energy she puts out into the world that she did get back. I'll say that life is not always happy for Evelyn Hugo, doesn't always go her way, super tragic at times, but in terms of what she wanted out of life, she said, I'm going to be famous, and then she eventually became famous. So that's why I chose The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo for Just Like Magic. The next song on the album is called Off the Table, featuring The Weeknd, and bitch, is it a tearjerker, okay? Oh my God. When I first heard it, I was like, there's no way she wrote this song, just because it's so vulnerable. But it's basically about what happens when you lose a love that you really believe was like your soulmate. Like the love of your life is no longer either with you or no longer on earth. Like what happens for you after that? Like, can you find love moving forward? And just like, what does that mean after you've lost the one? And so for this one, I chose The Two Lives of Lydia Bird, which is a book all about that sentiment. It's all about how this woman, Lydia Bird, is engaged to the love of her life. They met when they were teenagers, and then they got engaged, and they were really close to getting married, and then he dies in a car accident. And that is part of the plot. I'm not spoiling anything. But he dies, and then she has to continue through life without this person that she really truly thought was like the love of her life. So yeah, I thought it was a good pick. Pat on my own back for that. There you go. All right, the next song on this album is called 6:30, which is a fun sounding song, but seems to have a deeper meaning underneath, in the undercurrent. I don't know. Basically, it's about, the whole thing is like 6:30 is when the hands on the clock hit 6:30, they're both pointing down. And so the song is like, are you down to stick it out with me? Are you down to do this with me? Are you down to live life with me? Because sometimes shit will come up and it won't be pretty, and I need you to stick it out with me. And so for this one, I chose The Flat Share, which is a book I literally just read like last week. And I chose this one for a couple reasons. The first one is the 6:30 thing. So 6:30, hands on the clock, is also part of the agreement between the two main characters in The Flat Share. So it's basically about this main guy and this main girl, and they share a flat, but they're not in the flat at the same time because he is a doctor that works at night and she has a day job. And so they never actually cross paths for like the first 6 months they're living in the same apartment. And so 6:30 is like actually when they switch. Like he goes to work at 6:30, she gets home around 6:30, and so that's like just a good, I thought that was a really smart choice for this song just from like actual time clocks. But the other reason why I chose this, not just because of the numbers on the clock, which was really fucking clever if I can say so myself, but the other reason is because our main character Tiffy, the main lady in the book, is just getting out of an abusive relationship, and she doesn't really realize that until she starts getting close to someone else. And then she has these like PTSD reactions to touch and feelings and arguments. She will shut down, like physically shut down when certain things start happening. And so I thought this was good for this song because you have to see if the main guy will stick it out with her and actually be down to take care of her and realize her limits and make sure that he doesn't push her too far, right? Great choice, Noelle. The next song on this list is Safety Net, featuring Ty Dolla $igns, and bitch, oh my God, I love this song so much. It's such a beautiful, powerful moment for her vocals, and it's also just a beautiful song. So love it so much. It's all about when you're starting to really fall in love with someone and you are terrified because you know that they have the power to hurt you now. And so it's all about like, do you actually have that safety net for me? Because I'm terrified and I don't know if I can really truly love again, but I'm gonna try with you. And are you safe to love? That's just quick gist of the song. That's safety net. So for this one, I chose Beach Read, which is a book I so badly want to reread. I actually want to reread it by the end of this year. I really liked this book. I thought it was really fun. It's basically about these two authors. Our main girl, is an author of romance novels. The main guy is an author of, I think, just regular fiction or like action books. I don't really know. I don't remember. But they both write other fiction, right? And they just so happened, they went to college together and they were enemies. And they just so happened to be staying in vacation homes right next to each other. And they didn't mean to do that, completely by surprise. They haven't seen each other in years. And so now they're living right next to each other. They're both trying to write new books. They both have writer's blocks. And so they switch genres. So she goes to write like a mystery or a fiction. And he goes to write a romance. And it's this really cute thing. We love to see it. So that's all fine. But why did I choose this for safety net? Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but basically January, who is our main girl, she is at that lake house because it belonged to her father, who just passed away. That's not a spoiler, just passed away. And when he passed away, he left her a letter that disclosed some information that was really, really hard for her to come to grips with. I will not spoil it for you. By God Almighty himself, I will not spoil it. But because of the information in that letter, she doesn't believe in love. She thought she did. She thought everything was cool. She thought everything was happy and lovely and beautiful and wonderful. I mean, she writes romance, so she believed in romance. And then that letter came and she no longer believes in it. So when she starts talking to the main guy again, and they're, living next to each other, she, as attracted as she may be to him, she doesn't think that it'll ever work out because she thinks that love is a sham. So yeah, that's why I chose Beach Read for safety net. And I'm gonna, again, pat on the back to myself. What a good choice. Parker is snoring so loud. I'm so sorry. The next song on this album is called My Hair, which is about, you guessed it, Ariana Grande's hair. It has more meaning than that, but that's basically the gist. It's basically like, I saw her talk about this on the Zach Sang interview, but she is known for her ponytails. She's known for her straight hair. She's known for her look, but behind closed doors, she actually has this like really big, beautiful, curly Italian hair, that she only really shows to people she's intimately involved with or her really close friends and family. And so in this song, she's kind of teaching her new love how to touch her hair and how to take care of her. And there's some sexual innuendos in it for sure. But just on that basis of like walking through someone how to intimately play with her hair, I thought would be a great pick for the Kiss Quotient. Because in this book, first of all, incredible romance. If you haven't read it, you are missing out, bitch. So in this book, our main lady is autistic and she has never had a positive sexual relationship. And so she hires an escort to teach her how to be intimate without having any feelings involved or feeling like she has to disappoint someone because she's paying him to have sex with her. So in this, obviously, romance ensues, and so through the development of that relationship, she has to teach him how she likes to be touched or how she likes to be held or what's okay and what's not okay. I just thought it was a really good pick because in the song, Ariana is saying like, this is how you touch my hair, this is how you touch my mind, and other things. But also in this book, the main character literally has to say like, this is okay. You can touch me like this. This is okay. This is not okay. Do not touch me like this. And so yeah, Kiss Quotient. Read it if you haven't. It's so good. The next song on the album is Nasty. And do I even need to explain? It's about, you know, you've now fallen in love, you now have broken down the barriers, and now you are ready for things to get heated. Yeah, it's all just about, you know. You know what I'm saying? You know. I mean, it's literally titled Nasty, so I think we all know what it's about. But for this one, I mean, you guys knew it was coming, and that is The Hating Game, bitch! Oh my god, you knew this was gonna be on the list somewhere, and I actually had thought of multiple places this book could go, but then I was listening to Nasty when I was trying to pick a book, and I just was like, this book just, I feel like it gets it. Because in Nasty, it is clear that there are actual, like, loving emotions. Like, Ariana Grande is in love during this song, which is true for this. But she's also just trying to get down, which is also a theme in this. In The Hating Game, basically what goes on is that there's this main girl named Lucy, and there's a main guy named Josh, and they are working at a publishing company together, and a new job opening opens up, and they both are fighting for this big promotion. And the whole time they've worked together, Lucy is convinced that they absolutely hate each other. She tried to be really friendly when they first met, and Josh didn't even give her the time of day, seemed to not give a shit that she was standing there, and so now they play the hating game. Like, that's what she calls it. And so it's a really, like, enemies to lovers type of book. But what I liked about this book for Nasty was because, I mean, it's a steamy bitch, I'll be honest with you. There are some steamy moments. But basically, Lucy in the book is like, hey, I'm attracted to you, you're attracted to me, let's just do this thing. And he's like, no, I'm gonna make you wait for it, which is literally a lyric that comes up in Nasty. Like, Ariana Grande saying, like, hey, I love you, we are a thing now, can we just do this thing? Please stop making me wait for it. And that is those are some themes that come up in The Hating Game. So if you've never read this, God, just do it. Just do it. It is so fun, and it is so lovely, and it is so great. So anyway, yeah, that's my choice for Nasty. So the next song on this album is called West Side. It's also one of my absolute favorites, and I think it's like a hidden gem on the album. It's not one that you think about right away, and then you listen to it and you're like, holy shit, I can't stop singing it. It is so beautiful. I think that her vocals are insane on this one. Anyway, it's literally just a love song. Like, that's all it is. There's no, like, this one was kind of hard to pick at first because I was like, it's literally just about being in love. But then I found this book and I thought, wow, what an incredible choice, Noelle. Good one. And that is The Bride Test. Basically, it's about, so it is the second one to the Kiss Quotient. This is the second book. And in the Kiss Quotient, the main guy has a cousin, and that cousin has a brother, and that brother's name is Kai, and Kai is autistic. He doesn't feel like he can feel real emotion. So it's not so much the physicalness in this one, like the Kiss Quotient's more about physical touch, and that does come up in the Bride Test, but this one's more about like the depth of emotion, and Kai just believes, like, because I'm autistic, like, I don't understand what love is, which we find out is not true. Just hold on to your seats, right? But basically, Kai's mom is in Vietnam, and she finds a woman that she thinks will be a really good match for Kai, and so she asks the woman to fly to the West Coast, bitch, and try to woo her son. And so that's what happens. She flies to the West Coast and tries to love him and tries him to love her back. And it's a really sweet book. I really, really liked this one. I do prefer the Kiss Quotient, but this one is a super strong sequel. I really liked it. And again, it's all about like finding love on the West Coast. So, or actually, sorry, the song is called West Side. I don't know if I've been saying that wrong this entire time. The song is called West Side. And so she flies to the West Side to try to make him fall in love, and there you go. The next song on the album is called Love Language, which, you guessed it, bitch, it's another just love song, and it's mostly, I mean, it's a love song that's about, like, you know me so well, you know how I need love, and so you speak my love language, and that's why I love you. Again, it's just a love song. But what I chose for this one is Take a Hint, Danny Brown, which, which, what an incredible book. Seriously, so good. It is the second book in the Get a Life Chloe Brown series. So this is the second one. Chloe Brown will pop up in just a few books. Just you wait for it. But Take a Hint, Danny Brown is about Chloe Brown's sister, and she is a professor at this really cool college, and she has begun a friendship with the security guard on her university campus. And they're just friends, and they just have this really good connection, and they have this good chemistry. And throughout the book, they start to flirt. There's a little something more there. But Danny Brown has always felt like her career always gets in the way of relationships. So she just thinks, like, why even try to make a relationship happen with anyone, because I just ruined them with my career. I'm just too busy for relationships. But because she had this friendship with this guy first, I don't want to spoil anything, but is able to not make her feel the way she has in previous relationships. That's all I'll say. But it's really, really sweet. It's really good. And I really liked reading about a main character who was a professor in a romance. I thought that was really cool. So that's Love Language, and that's Take a Hint, Danny Brown. The next song on the album is called Positions. It is the song after the album. It was her first single, and good God, how many times have we watched that music video? Be honest with yourself, because I'll be honest, I can't even count. It's been so many times. And so for Positions, I mean, the song Positions is just about like what I think is like Ariana Grande is this singer and she's successful, but when she falls in love and she meets the right person, she's able to switch up that position, and she's able to be who she needs to be in a relationship, and she's able to take a more submissive role sometimes, I think is what she's going for, kind of like, I'm all of this all the time, but for you, I'll also be this. You know what I'm saying? And so for this one, I chose Red, White, and Royal Blue. So the reason why I chose Red, White, and Royal Blue, I mean, just take a moment and think about what a good choice this was for Positions, right? I can't even tell you how proud I am of choosing this one for Positions. Basically, it's about the president's son, so the first son, and the Prince of England, and the two of them kind of, romance, right? It's a romance. And so they are like, it's politically charged, which positions the music video like all takes place in the actual White House. That's why I thought this was such a good pick, because you literally have the president's son and the music video takes place at the White House. But also another thing is in the book, it's all about like, the president's son is supposed to be a certain way. The Prince of England is supposed to be a certain way. They're supposed to act a certain way. They're supposed to love a certain way. They're supposed to present themselves a certain way. But they will both physically and emotionally change positions for each other. And I just thought that was such a good choice for Positions. So yes, Red, White, and Royal Blue, such a good book. Really highly recommend it. It is really good. All right, the next song on the album, we're almost done, you guys. We have this one and then one other song, and then we're done with this video. But the next song is called Obvious, and this choice was not obvious because this song is just another love song. That's all it is. There's no, I didn't feel like there was something that I could really pick on for this one. So it's just like falling in love and making your love obvious, and it's just, obvious love. That's all it is. And so for this one, I chose This Time Next Year, which is a book that I just finished last night. It's all about these two characters who are born on New Year's Day, and how they kind of keep meeting every New Year's, and then don't. Like, they're kind of around each other, but they don't realize they're around each other. And then on their 30th birthday, they actually meet. And so you're kind of watching these moments of when they've met in the past, while also watching them as they get to know each other today. And so I chose this one because one of the characters is obviously into the other one. is like making it very clear that they are super down and super into them and really trying to make this happen. And the other one is friend zoning them and saying like, hey, I can't do anything serious and you want something serious and I can't do that right now. And I'll just, it's a romance book, so I'll let you figure out what happens. But I mean, that's why I chose this. It's just, the main character is like, I'm obviously into you and you're also obviously into me. So can we just make this happen? Because I don't know what we're waiting for. And so there you have it. That's This Time Next Year. Okay, you guys, last song on the album is POV. Can we talk about it for a second? This was the one, I mean, it's the last song on the album, and after I had heard so many hits, you know what I mean? So many power ballads, so many kind of dance tunes, I was like, you know what? POV is a little slow for me right now. I can't sit with it. And then the next day, the day after it came out, I saw that like everyone's favorite song was POV. And I was like, I mean, but it's that like slow ass song at the end. Like, why are we talking about it? And then I gave it another listen. Bitch, oh my God. What a beautiful song and what a beautiful message. It's all, I mean, can you guess? It's another love song. But it's all about learning to love yourself through knowing how much someone loves you, right? So like the song is like, I wish I could love me like you love me. I wish I could trust me like you trust me. And it's kind of like the insecurities of yourself and seeing how much someone else can love them makes you start to love them about yourself. The book that I chose for this one, I mentioned I would bring it up, but of course we're going to end it on a high note, which is Get a Life, Chloe Brown. Can you think of a better book choice for this one? I think not. Basically, Get a Life, Chloe Brown is about this girl named Chloe Brown and this guy named Red. And the two of them are neighbors in the same apartment complex. She is just a regular tenant, and then he is like the, what would you call it? Like he takes care of the building. He doesn't own the building, but he takes care of it. What would you call that? I don't know. Anyway, so the two of them meet, and Chloe has chronic pain, and so her last relationship ended because that guy like didn't believe her, didn't think that it was real, thought that she was just like being dramatic about it. And so she believes that she's not worth love. She's also just like in genuine pain all the time. And Red, our main guy, just got out of an abusive relationship. So he also doesn't think that he deserves love. And so the two of them start to find love for themselves through loving each other. And it's just a really sweet novel. And I thought it was the perfect way to end this video. So there you have it, you guys. I've gone through every song and I have chosen a book. Again, let me know what books you would have chosen for each one of these songs, especially if they're different. But also hype me up. If you felt like there was one that I really nailed, let me know, because I worked really hard on this list. I have been working on this video for 2 weeks now of just like solidly thinking about it and looking at lyrics and listening to it over and over again, trying to think of good ones for this list. So I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you had fun, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!